At Duxbury's fall town meeting last year, a 9-person committee was appointed to look into the possibility of using electronic balloting for future special and town meetings. In other communities, such as Chelmsford, Westboro, and Wayland, the system has been working well. These simple handheld electronic keypads offer residents voting privacy at public meetings, as well as efficiency and accuracy in the process of the meeting itself. PACTV Community News caught up with the committee chair to hear more about the plans to bring electronic voting to Duxbury.
I'm Susan Kadar, acting chair of the Electronic Balloting Committee, which was established, or rather appointed, by the moderator following the 2013 annual town meeting, which authorized the moderator to do this specifically to investigate the applicability of employing electronic balloting for future special and annual town meetings and report back to annual town meeting. So 9 of us were appointed. We have made very good progress looking at the feasibility and what kind of advantages versus negative aspects it would have for town meeting. The conclusion, after several discussions and pretty thorough discussions of the committee, the unanimous opinion of the committee was that it would be very advantageous for the town to change to electronic balloting. And I will read you just a few words that describe it. Why should electronic voting be considered? Privacy, accuracy, and speed were determined as advantages, as well as the fact that only registered voters could use the system, whereas now, with the voice vote, you don't know whose voice you're hearing if you are moderator. The added privacy and the immediacy of vote counting might also encourage, or we hope will encourage more people to attend town meeting, because the electronic balloting will offer privacy, will offer speed. It might cut back on the number of hours we now spend at town meeting. So those are the advantages that the committee sees. Disadvantage, well, eventually it's going to cost the town. There are also people who do not want to see change, who are a little bit worried about the electronic age. But let me show you the handheld device that the voters would use. It would be extremely simple. You simply have an option within 30 seconds to click yes, no, or abstention. And it's immediately recorded. So from the voter's viewpoint, it couldn't be simpler and couldn't be faster. We are hoping that actually the 2014 town meeting will be conducted by electronic balloting, because we have an offer to use it free of charge from Option Technologies of Orlando, Florida. They will come set up the system, run it, and prior to that, on the 30th of January, they will be here and offer us a free demonstration to acquaint voters, hopefully, who will be present at the meeting, of how simple all of this is. We know that the town of Wayland has used it, and they find it to be very successful. And we learned from Option Technologies that there are 24 towns, municipalities within the Commonwealth that are looking for the same thing, looking into the same process. I don't know how many of those municipalities have open town meetings versus representative, but nevertheless it's clear that the future goes toward that. Now, if the voters are favorable for the electronic balloting, then we very likely, this is not a promise, but very likely will get a second free year from Option Technologies. So the cost would not be incurred until the town meeting of 2016. And the estimate, and I want to emphasize this is an estimate, for 500 handsets, in other words, approximating a turnout of 500 voters for the first day would be $21,000. For days 2 and 3, where the anticipated number of voters drops to about 300, it would drop to about 8,500. But this is an estimate. And we hope that because of more towns are signing up for this, more towns will be utilizing it, the cost might be lower. It certainly will not be higher. Also, if our town meeting is near in terms of timing of other towns that use it, the cost would go down. So that's what we know right now about pricing.